Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is the official Mikey Garcia versus Adrien Broner post-fight review. We got my man Alex here. We just got back from the Marlins game. Shout out to the Marlins; they got a much-needed victory today. But I'll give my thoughts first, and then we'll throw it over to Alex in a minute. So, Mikey Garcia versus Adrien Broner. It ends in a unanimous decision. Mikey Garcia fights. And I gotta say, I only watched from the 6th to the 12th round because we got in kind of late. But the rounds I did watch, Mikey Garcia did damn near everything perfectly. You know, his feints were perfect. His understanding of distance was perfect. He had Adrien Broner on the offensive. He had him confused. And I think for what really went wrong for Adrien Broner is because Mikey consistently had his jab pumping in his face. He was going in the high guard a lot. So whenever Adrien was going in the high guard, he had to constantly reset, and then Mikey would move, and then, you know, it really flustered AB. And then the more he went in the high guard, you know, he had Mikey Garcia rip into the body, and just broke him down. You know, credit to AB. He's very tough. You know, I've said so many bad things about Adrien Broner on this channel before, but if there's one good thing I do say about Adrien Broner is that this guy's tough. He's tough because to take that many body shots as Mikey was giving him, and to not go down, you know, I found that very impressive. So if there's one thing he does have, it's toughness. And you know, he obviously, I think Paulie did a good job of pretty much illustrating the fight. You know, Adrien Broner, or Mikey Garcia, I should say, his fundamentals were a lot more on point. You saw him getting leverage on his lead foot, just out jabbing Adrien Broner, using the angles more than Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner, you know, was throwing, like I've always said, eye-catching shots, but it was Mikey Garcia with the more effective punches, the punches that really mattered, and he outworked Adrien Broner. You know, a lot of people have said that Adrien Broner, big problem of his is that he's very inactive in his fights. Same thing here. You know, his lack of activity in the ring came back to hurt him. And Mikey Garcia, you know, picture-perfect performance. You know, I think he lost probably. From the rounds I saw, he maybe lost one round, if that. Looked really, really good tonight, and I like to see him fight the top guys at 140, 147. No matter what the case is, I think Mikey Garcia, the way he was able to go in there tonight and just have his way with Adrien Broner, nobody's really made a fight with Adrien Broner look that easy. I mean, I know he has some losses to Maidana and Porter, but neither of those guys had as easy of a time with Broner as Mikey Garcia did. So I think that is worth some praise, and, you know, just great performance from him. And Alex, what did you think about Mikey Garcia's performance tonight?
You know, it was a very good performance. I enjoyed it from the rounds I've seen. You know, we only saw the 6th round up. What's next for Garcia? Well, you know, he you know, credits for AB for, you know, looking like, you know, strong, like, you know, staying in the fight, showing heart and stuff. You know, he was really, like, you know, doing good. Like, he was really taking chances in the last rounds, you know, stunning him. Well, I don't want to say stun because, you know, he didn't look stunned, but he was getting a few punches in. But, you know, credit to AB for that. But, I don't know, in my opinion, like, I feel like he should just retire.
Adrien Broner? Why do you feel he should retire?
You know, first of all, like, this is the first time he was ever the underdog, and this is, like, one of his last chances to prove himself. And
at the top level, yeah.
Yeah, and look what happened. Like, you know, he basically got beat by what was supposed to be, like, you know, a smaller man.
Got outclassed.
Outclassed too. So yeah. So I mean, if Adrien Broner wants to continue fighting, I don't know what other guy is there for him. I mean,
I don't know, man. Personally, look, I've had this opinion for a number of years, but I've always thought that if Adrien Broner wants to grow as a fighter, he needs to get rid of his trainer, like Mike Stafford. Mike Stafford's been good with him for a while, but he's just too comfortable, and he's not going to really challenge him to grow. He needs someone that's going to challenge him to grow. And so it starts there, and just with himself, you know, he's got to change his lifestyle. You know, I don't buy. I never bought the whole I've changed. You know, every time I fight, I've changed.
Focus, Broner.
I've magically matured, and then you go watch his vlogs. You watch his about boxing, about billions vlogs.
Exactly,
he's still
man.
in the club popping bottles. So
hey, no one beats a focus, Broner.
Nobody beats a focus, Broner. But I mean, it is what it is, man. I want to give Broner his credit. He was definitely tough tonight. He was definitely game. But I mean, I try to tell you guys, I try to tell people out there when he got a gift against Adrien Granados that And even before that, probably even before that, a little bit before that, I was saying that he was done at the top level because, Adrien Broner, he was, first of all, his lack of fundamentals were killing him, lack of willingness to improve, and then just the weight and lack of discipline. He could have been a pretty good fighter. He could have turned out to be a pretty good fighter, but it's the lack of discipline and the wanting to be a celebrity so bad that he kind of compromised who he was as a fighter for that. So it is what it is. But Mikey Garcia, shout out to him. I think, and some of y'all might disagree, but I think he has legitimate claim for that last pound-for-pound spot, with wins against guys like Roman Martinez, Salido, and then now beating Broner as easily as he did. You should, at least give him some consideration. I'm not saying he's definitely top 10 pound-for-pound fighter, but he should get a little consideration for that 10th spot because he showed pound-for-pound skills in there tonight against a guy who, love him or hate him, Adrien Broner is not the easiest guy to look good against. Ask Sean Porter who beat him. Granado's had a good showing against him, but he didn't look the best against him. So that's what it is, man. Any final thoughts, Alex?
Hey, man, I may be. I don't need no change.
Oh, God.
I'm joking. Nah, man. But in my opinion, though, I think Garcia is definitely ready for the pound for pound spot. I mean, no disrespect to guys like Shinsuke Yamanaka, but you got guys on the pound for pound list that only fight at one weight class and haven't even unified yet.
Mm-hmm.
And Mikey Garcia, I don't think he has unified yet. I'm not sure, but he fought. He's a champion in 3 weight classes. So, and he's beat the likes of Orlando Salido, Roman Martinez, and Adrien Broner, Dejan Zlaticanin, and all those guys. A vicious knockout over Dejan, by the way. But yeah, I think Garcia's on the pound for pound list. I want him to fight Linares, who another guy who I think should be on the pound for pound list. But
I want to see him fight Crawford.
In Crawford.
I think he gave Crawford some problems.
And who else? Felix Verdejo?
I don't know. Verdejo's not ready for that.
He's not ready.
He's not ready for that.
Robert Easter.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, man. So he got the 12-round decision. Did pretty much everything you'd want him to do in there tonight. Adrien Broner, where does he go from here? Hate to say it, but back to ESPN and Australia TV for him. At this point, I'm not even saying that to be mean. The guy's had so many opportunities in boxing to prove himself at the top level. In many cases, he's pissed it away, and now it's caught up to him. I think if you guys were really paying attention and you didn't have your Adrien Broner pom-poms out, you would have saw that a fight or 2 fights ago. But I think around the Ashley Theophane fight, that's when you really start saying to yourself, man, this guy isn't what he used to be. So that's what it is. Mikey Garcia gets a 12-round unanimous decision. Big things are ahead for him in the world of boxing, and yeah, man, great performance. Made Adrien Broner look like what I hate to say this, what I always thought he was: overglorified, overpaid, C-class fighter. So I'll leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just Kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.